This is Danny Flexon here for Seconds Out. Delighted to be joined by Sam Jones, who may well be embarking upon a new career as a tipster. Sam, it's been a good week for you.
Danny, people will not like to hear you say that about me. But listen, you get them right, you get them wrong. But there is a lot of people that don't give their opinions in case they get it wrong. I just think that have your opinion, stick by it, and that's what you should do.
And while Sheffield Wednesday left themselves a mountain to climb and yet successfully did so, Chantelle Cameron, it's fair to say, was in charge from the off last night against Katie Taylor. What did you make of the fight?
Danny, right? Jenny, I'm not just saying this. I love Katie Taylor. I'm a massive. I was there for a debut. I'm a massive Katie Taylor fan. I think she's the greatest female boxer of all time. Genuinely, still think that now. For what outside the ring, inside the ring, how she carries herself, she's amazing. But she was beaten in every single department yesterday, and all these shouts of it was no, it wasn't close, mate. It just wasn't close. People get it mixed up in boxing where they think, because she was in the fight, which she was at all times. She was never battered. Do you know what I mean? She was never but it was a competitive, one-sided fight in Chantelle Cameron's favour. Not what I know. Listen, Katie did win 3 rounds, and maybe I was a bit gonna because I was saying 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. I understand that, and I watched the fight back again, but I struggle to give Katie more than a few rounds maximum. Chantelle was the boss in there, Danny. She had a good jab. Her body work was fantastic. And I love Andy Lee, yeah? Andy Lee, great guy. He was a fantastic fighter. He's a great coach. He's a good analyst. But his commentary yesterday was painful, Danny. It was painful. And I admire his loyalty to Katie. But I don't want to hear loyal commentators on fights like that. I want to hear fair commentators. I want to hear fair commentators. And he was just dismissing all the work that Chantelle was doing. When he was like, Katie's got to do this. Katie's got to come back here. Like, Chantelle was bullying her in there. She was bullying her in there from minute one. And I've always felt this, Danny. I've always felt Chantelle would beat Katie Taylor. I've always said it. And I was very confident. If I'm honest now, I wasn't overly confident she'd get the decision out there unless she literally pummeled her every single minute of every single round. Like it's hard to get a decision sometimes. But when we talk about fighters going on away territory, Brits going to away territory, it's one of the greatest wins by a Brit in an away fight. It really is. Because like I said the other week with John Ryder going into Guadalajara, this is Katie Taylor's homecoming in Dublin. You can't get any much more hostile than that. And Nigel Travis, Jamie Moore, Chantelle Cameron, amazing. And they all need so much credit for what they've done there. Because, I mean, Nigel and Jamie, they've engineered 2 140 undisputed wins. We won't talk about the other one with Cattrall, but we know what happened there. But they need a lot of credit. They really do, because they keep Chantelle in a good focus. And I was so proud of her last night, Danny, Chantelle, because she well won that fight. She really did. She outfought her, outboxed her at times, and I thought her will to win was fantastic. And I'm so proud of her that she's managed to do that, because she's now number one.
I respect Andy Lee, I'm sure, as much as you do. I don't know if you watched the undercard, but I felt his work on Hogan against Metcalf was even worse than it was on Taylor. Like that definitely wasn't a close fight either. But let's move on from that. Katie Taylor seemed to be getting quite sensible instructions in the corner about how to kind of capitalize on the success she was having in spurts, but just didn't seem able to sustain anything. How much of that was down to Chantelle's pressure, which was effective and intelligent, and how much of it was down to maybe Katie not being the fighter she once was?
I don't put it down to that, Danny. I genuinely think Chantelle would have beat Katie Taylor at any time, because Chantelle's bigger and she's stronger. Do you know what I mean? That counts for a lot. I know we laugh about the old Carl Froch, too big, too strong. But that's what it was. But that's what it was, Danny. She was too big and too strong. And I genuinely think she'd stop her if they fight again. I actually do think that, because Chantelle will go in there with even more confidence, because she was hurting Katie with the body. And Katie's so tough, by the way. She's so tough, because Chantelle was hitting her with some huge body shots that were being completely ignored by the commentary. Yeah, and listen, when you're scoring a fight, when you're there, it would have been hard. Like I saw Parsons, like he was like 2-2. I'm like, it's never ever that close, because when you hear the roar of the crowd, because when Katie was getting backed up, she was coming back with a few spurts, but they weren't landing, Danny. They weren't landing. Chantelle was taking a lot on the gloves, and she was overreaching. Kate, I just think it's hard to score. Like Eddie was saying, oh, I saw the draw, but it was a fair result. Chantelle, it was never, ever a draw, that fight. Chantelle was the clear winner. It was a competitive, one-sided fight in Chantelle Cameron's favour.
I've got to say, watching it on TV, I did feel it was a close fight. But, you know, who knows? Maybe if I rewatched it, I'd feel differently. Maybe a bit of heart rule in the head. You know, I'm not a massive
listen,
fan.
You heard the roar. Listen, if Katie Taylor's in there with any other girl, I'm backing. I want Katie Taylor. She's boxing my friend, so I wanted Chantelle to. I wanted to win so bad. But when you hear the roar and you listen to the commentary, it is hard to because I don't care what anybody says. Yeah, as I say, I've got, like I said, I've got so much respect for Andy Lee, great bloke. But mate, I wanted to rip my TV off the wall as they're listening to that commentary, because it was just so one-sided. But listen, the right person won, which was absolutely fantastic, and I'm just really proud of Chantelle to go there, to have the focus to go in there, the Lions Den like that, and win, and put on the performance she did. One of the all-time best performances by a Brit on away soil. Amazing, and I wanted to get the credit that she damn well deserves, because she's had to put up a lot of bollocks in the build-up to this fight, no fault of her own, and massive credit to her.
We can talk about her future in a moment, but just for a second, put yourself in Katie Taylor's camp. 3 clear options. One is the immediate rematch with Cameron, which Eddie Hearn feels she's likely to take. Yeah. 2 is that she drops back down to lightweight and fights someone else. And 3 is that she calls it a day after, you know, a legendary career, the greatest female of all time, no doubt.
Yeah.
Which would you suggest?
It's hard because, again, like forget about anything else. She will trigger the rematch because Katie, being the person she is, listen, I don't know what a person is, but I know by, listen, look at the Pursoon fight. Like she took that rematch. Katie's not built like that. Katie's built, she's a winner. Do you know what I mean? And that will really hurt her. You could see she doesn't show too much emotion, like something like that. She's very poker faced. It would have hurt her last night. Do you know what I mean? Her homecoming, her big moment that was in Dublin. And so much credit to Katie, and I mean this, so much credit and respect for her, because Eddie, is a clever guy. He knew deep down that Chantelle, I genuinely believe he thought Chantelle was going to beat Katie Taylor, and he was thinking, do you know, when Katie called her out, Eddie would have done this in his office. No. That's what would have happened, because listen, so credit to Katie, because she made that fight happen. Yeah, she made that fight happen. She called it out. Otherwise, that fight just wouldn't have happened, because people are clever around Katie, and they listen, they want to maximize it. But she could have boxed anybody yesterday in homecoming and had that crowd, and she chose to box the hardest test she could pick. So honestly, hats off to Katie Taylor. Amazing person, amazing fighter, and just incredible she's been incredible for the sport. Going back to what you're saying, because I know I've kind of diverted what you've said, I think she'll trigger the rematch clause, Danny. I don't think she will have any other focus in her mind. What should she
do? What would you advise her to do?
I would go and have an easier night against somebody else for her undisputed belts. That's what I would do. But she's not going to do that, so it's not even worth speaking about. She's going to fight Chantelle again. But the fight should be in neutral grounds, Danny, in my opinion. I don't think Chantelle should have to go straight back to Dublin. And do you know what I mean? She should never have had to walk out first. That's just that. I know people say, oh, it doesn't matter. It does. She's the defending champion. She's putting her belts on the line. It's bollocks. She should have walked out. Second, like as she was the defending champion. But it is what it is. The second fight should be on her terms. I know they've got to listen. Eddie's going to maximise earnings, and he's going to do it in the place, but like just do it somewhere different, in my opinion. Anywhere different, just somewhere different.
Well, I saw you talking Cobblers last night. By that I mean the
I was half
ground of
joking
Northampton Town FC, albeit tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe like the O2 or Manchester Arena.
I would just like to see Chantelle built as a home star now, because listen, Northampton, no, it's not known for its boxing, but it's got the Fale brothers there from Northampton. They've got, and as I say, Chantelle should be a headliner now. She really should, a consistent headliner, and they should at least attempt to try and give Chantelle her homecoming, her special moment, because she's put little Northampton Town right on the map. The Cobblers look like they're going up, and Chantelle's just done that to Katie Taylor, the greatest female fighter of all time. So, yeah. But listen, I don't know what the contract says, Danny. She might have to go back there. But even if it's New York, just somewhere different to what she's done there, I just think she deserves that. But listen, Matchroom are a great promoter, and that they will do I believe they'll do what's right by both fighters.
Do you think there's a chance the rematch takes place down at 135? And if it does, how much difference, if at all, does that make?
I don't know, Danny, because listen, as long as Chantelle's being well compensated, Chantelle will defend the belts again. Do you know what I mean? But I don't want Chantelle to weight deplete herself and give herself, give Katie, I don't know, an advantage, because if Chantelle's like, she's a big, strong girl at 140, I don't want her to start boiling down to get to 135. I don't know. It's a question for Chantelle's team, really. But I'm just a friend. But like I would if I was advising Chantelle, I'd say don't be going down to 135, because sometimes the name is worth more than the belts, Danny. And doing what she did last night was worth more than belts, if you understand what I mean.
Brilliant, Sam. Really appreciate it. I know there's a queue of other outlets waiting to speak to you. Prioritise Seconds Out, and I don't blame you. We are the best. But
what did you think to Loma? By the way, just quickly, what did you watch Loma against Haney?
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to watch it.
And there was a lot of outrage saying it was a robbery, but I had it I had Loma winning by 2 rounds.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there seems to be a bit of a consensus, either a draw or Loma by 2, like 115, 130.
I'm even going against my prediction, because I predicted Chantelle to beat Katie, and I predicted Haney to beat Loma on points. But I think Loma won the fight, in my opinion. But I'll take it, Danny. I will take it.
I'll let you know when I've watched it tonight what I score it.
Yeah. All right then, mate.
All right. Cheers, mate. Take care. Have a good day.
Take care, Danny. See you in a bit, mate. Bye-bye.
Right. And any more football tips, you let me know first, not after.
Well, anything that's not Derby County related, because I always get them wrong. But other than Derby
County, rolling head, but yeah,
I'm pretty good at tips with football, as long as it's not Derby.
I'll bear it in mind. Cheers, mate.
See you in a bit, Danny.
Bye bye.